On course on the left-hand side, on the sim now on the right-hand side. So you can see setup-wise, quite close to that ball, a bit close. Tucked up, not really much space. Alignment-wise with the feet there kind of aiming out here, so that's going to get you a bit tucked up on the way through and limited movement as you rotate. And you'll see this as you sort of see the follow-through, how you're trying to like jump out of the way just to try and get through it because you're closed off there. So this is your backswing on the left now before. As we said, not bad in terms of the takeaway movement initially. That was okay. There would be good, but then we collapse, and the club now we can see kind of over here. And generally, this club would be a shorter. That was a driver. It's probably going to be down here somewhere because the club is just longer, isn't it? Yeah. So that's the position where your driver's getting to down here. We've lost control of that club. You can see when you come back to the golf ball here now, you have to sort of steepen this club out as you come into the golf ball, and then as you hit the golf ball, it's a bit heely as we can see the striker cut off that heel. And then as you come to watch your foot sort of trying to jump out of the way, and you're just a bit ungainly trying to save it with the last second. That ball, we know, just sort of curved off into the trees there, okay?
When you were doing that you did that exaggerated movement. I didn't even know I did that. That's crazy.
So this movement on the right hand, this is the rehearsal movement. Obviously, normally we suggest do them away from the mat off the ball there. You did it here because you're just next to the ball at the start, okay? So you've got to swing the top of the backswing and feel that move there. So this is staying flatter. You feel as if the thumbs are pointing back up sort of behind us here, okay? So if that's 12 o'clock and I'm sat at 6 o'clock, your thumbs are pointing at 8 o'clock over here somewhere, way back behind you, okay? Which is now going to flatten that left arm and left wrist and stop the club going anywhere near where it wants to go, okay?
Yeah.
Now, in terms of when you're at the golf ball, when you bring this club down, you can see now you're sort of recoiling back, does bring the club a little bit, what we call outside. That's me a bit picky. If you can bring the club down a bit more kind of from the better inside path this way, that would help. But that's me sort of being a bit overly sort of exaggerate there, okay? But in terms of the swing there now, once you've done that and you've done your practice, now you step in the golf ball and we test it, okay? You can see here now the left wrist is flatter. The club now hasn't gone as far as it did on this one, okay? So the club now in a better position when you come back to the golf ball. What we look for as we come back down on a shallow angle is your club matching up with your right forearm there. So not far away. We're getting into sort of the range of where you want to get to. And obviously based on the fact you're in a pretty good range, the club was in a square position. When you come back to the golf ball, good strike of the ball. Now, there's your follow through at the start of the session when on the golf course. Just watch this follow through now. Yeah. Ball it square and literally hasn't barely deviated a yard offline, carrying, I think it was 229 and then rolling out to, I think it was 254. There you go. 254, that far from the centre of the fairway. So it just shows what you're able and capable of doing. But you did this good shot because of the practice you did. Exactly, So you if you could just do this, rehearse all the time, over and over again, to the point where it just becomes what you do. You've got to practice this. When you're hitting balls, you're just testing what your practice has been. So okay, I'll step to the golf ball, hit it. What we see a lot of in the last 3 or 4 showcase that. Once you were hitting it a little bit to the right, the next one, then you went, I don't want to go to the right there. So the next one, it went there. And then, it just kept getting more and more to the right because you just kept getting ball after ball after ball, as opposed to step back away from the ball. Okay, let's reset. What people want to try and do is eliminate the ball that's on the screen because they can see it, or they just see the ball careering off. Okay, let's just get another one down there, okay? Yeah. Give yourself that, almost like the worse the previous shot was, the more time you spend on the next one to get it better, Okay. Don't just rush the next one because every now and then,
the range if I hit shit shots, I'm just like
before that ball's come down, the next one's dragged and it's chasing after it. And because you're making these little micro adjustments, if you hit 50 balls in a row doing that, eventually the ball might improve a little bit, but then 50 shots, you're 1 in 50 sort of strike rate. And in reality, people's practice on the range, the truest shot is the first one and the last one. Because the first one is like your very first shot with no practice at all. You're going straight into it, okay? So have you been doing any work at home or you done any training and stuff to get better? And that first shot is a good test. And the last one is, I've got such a good one. There's a bit of pressure on it, You want to finish and leave the range. The last thing you want to do is like just duff the last one. I'll drain the ball into the one, okay? So the last shot and the first shot are the truest ones, The 48 or whatever how many golf balls you're in the middle, they're just repetitively whacking golf balls. So try to get in that situation where you're rehearsing this move, up and down. You can see when that club comes back down now through your right forearm there perfectly, see the club now through your right forearm there? That's perfect, As you come back down now, ideally you want to see it coming back down on that angle. Yeah, so you sort of bring it a little bit what we call steeper and over the top. So if you could just encourage, once you're up here, just bringing it down this way a bit more. Yeah, not this big over the top. But again, there's still
so over the top is going to slice.
exactly. Well, it's going to create a path that swings the golf club left. Now, if the face is wide open, it'll be a big old slice. If the face is squarer, it'll just go straight left. Yeah. But neither of those two shots that we're trying to do. We're trying to bring that golf club more kind of on this sort of straighter path into the golf ball. Yeah. So just if you can rehearse that there, that'd be great. But just that movement over and over again, and then once you hit it,
send it more from the toe of the club. Good.
for the setup with the ball, that's one thing we just remind you again as well. And then, did you slow that down? No, you whack the living whatever out of it.
Yeah.
And we should do.
Yeah.
We want to hit it fast. We want to hit it far. Yeah. So don't try and slow things down, and don't add other thoughts. Saying, "Oh, that might help." Or watch the TikTok video. Your focus now is that left wrist. Just work on that until that ball starts hooking. Yeah. Then we maybe move to the next thing next time.
Yeah.
Make sense?
Yeah, lovely.
Excellent, good stuff, mate. Right.